Hey guys, in this video we are going to go over micro segmentation within the SD access policy. So on the previous video we actually went over the macro segmentation, which is segmenting via virtual network or VN, and these virtual networks are done via VRF. But what if we want to do a better or a more granular segmentation? We can do that via the micro segmentation. And the ultimate goal of CISCO TrustSec technology is to assign a tag or SGT or SG tag to the traffic of the user or the device at the ingress, right? At the ingress, and then enforce the access policy based on the tag elsewhere in the infrastructure. For example, like in the data center. And switches, routers, and firewalls use this SG tag to make forward decisions. For instance, an SG tag may be assigned to a guest user, so that guest traffic may be isolated from non-guest traffic throughout the infrastructure. So in this example, we can see that for virtual, let's take a look at virtual network A, right? And in this network, we can see that we have a phone, and also the cameras are on the same virtual network A, but we don't want them talking with one another. What we can do is we can assign this phone a tag, let's say tag 1 or SGT1 and SGT2, and what we can say that we don't want SGT1 and SGT2 talking, so therefore we can just block that and they won't be able to communicate with each other. But if we want the phones, right, we want all the phones communicating with each other, and we also want the cameras communicating with each other. And you can also do, a lot more, like if there's a server that is managing the cameras, you want that server on the same tag as the cameras so they can talk with one another, right? And save all the all the video recordings or whatever. And then over here we have virtual network B, right? Another VRF, another virtual network. And over here, let's say that we have a HR and IT. They're both on virtual network B. And what we could do here, just the same as virtual A. If we don't want HR talking with IT, we can assign a different SGT, like SGT3 and SGT4. And we can say that we don't want those two tags communicating with each other, and we can block that access, which is really nice. But we do want HR with HR communicating with each other, and IT user communicating with each other. So we can go over a little bit of the CISCO TrustSec onboarding and via authentication, and we are going to go over the dynamic classification and also static classification a little bit. So the dynamic classification, let's say for a phone, there are some phones that are unable to do 802.1x authentication. So what we could do is we can do a MAC authentication bypass, or MAB, right? And whenever they do this authentication, whenever they do an authentication via MAB, we can just dynamically assign, let's say the SGT1. So whoever authenticates via the MAB, they're going to be assigned a SGT of 1. And if somebody does an 802.1x authentication, which is authentication via port, right? We have the network ports. And for this computer, we can say that we want to assign it to the SGT2. But then there are some other computers that are doing it via the web authentication. We can also say that whoever does it via web authentication and 802.1x, that dynamically assigns a SGT of 2 for both of them, and that's fine. And then we have static classification. And static classification, we are mostly going to be seeing this in the data centers where all the servers are. They're not going to be moving. They're always going to be connected, right? They're not going to be up and down and moving around like some of the laptops, phones, and other wireless devices that we have out there. So that's how the onboarding via authentication works for CISCO TrustSec. And we also went over the micro segmentation for the SD access and the CISCO SD access policy via the CISCO TrustSec. Make this channel grow by donating. You can go to ccdtt.com/donate, and you can either do it through PayPal or Patreon. If you select the PayPal option, you can select any amount you want. On Patreon, we have 3 different membership, $3, $5, and $9 per month, and you can cancel whenever you want. Also, if you haven't done so, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at CCNA Daily Tips, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel at CCNA Daily Tips. Go ahead and subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.